I pop a leech into my mouth as I listen to my mother's strange, stilted chants. She scrapes a long bone from what was once called a cow across the cave walls, the sound flat and familiar, the scratching following the cadence of her priestess voice. I swallow the fat, slimy creature and hold in my thoughts. Well-intentioned, but misguided. I feel immediately guilty for the thought. My mother is the light of my life, but the goddess she prays to is hers. A cave salamander scuttles across my toes. I go to scoop it up. I might not like slimy things, but I don't like starving either. I've learned not to be picky. The handful of other devotees brave enough to still worship the goddess sit in a half-circle at her back in reverent silence. A candle flickers before each of them as a sacrifice. It's too valuable a resource to waste on something like this, but it's not my place to tell them how to pray, even if their prayers put us all in jeopardy. After all, hope is the only thing they have, even if it's placed in the sun goddess Atthar. Atthar, who was ripped out of the sky and deposed. Atthar, who is no longer there to hear their prayers. My mother turns back to face the four worshippers, the candlelight pooling in her sunken cheeks. Queen Atthar, your song is grief, she continues. It is lament. It is a crushing anger. You alone are mighty among the heavens. I ignore her words, turning my mind elsewhere. This part, and all the others, are things I know well. I've been listening to my beloved mother's chants and hymns to the goddess ever since I was grown in her stomach. In some unreachable corner of my mind is my infant memories of when the great usurpation saw Atthar torn from the skies, cleaved from her life-giving essence, and her light bottled for mankind's own use. But such recollections were too fleeting for my young brain to hold on to. That was nearly 8 star cycles ago, and I was but a toddling babe then. The one thing I can truly remember is the smell that came soon after. Decay. Starved livestock carcasses, and limp crops, and hungry— My boy, my mother whisper-scolds me. She points to the bowl in my hands, the one I was supposed to have already given her. Nasir! I scramble up off the damp ground and hand it to her. She gives me a pat on the head. Even in her official duties, her affection is clear. I'm not sure if being doted on still gives me that childish warmth and security, or if it embarrasses me. In the clay bowl is a mixture of rich orange pigment. She dips her fingertips in it. The devotees pull their tunics to the side to bare their sternums, and my mother crouches to paint a shimmering sun there. Breath tightens in my throat the longer she's hunched over. Her back is already bad, and even daily movements such as these are hard on her. May your praise not cease, she says as she finishes her work, and may you rise in the east again. May she rise, they echo. They blow out their pillar candles in unison, rite complete. Back in more abundant times, rumor says that it was custom to leave a candle burning for Atthar at all times. It seems ridiculous now, but my mother leaves her candle burning a bit longer. If only to remember. The worshippers file out of the cave to go ahead of us, as they always do. Part of me wishes I could go with them, to not have to endure what my mother will no doubt preach to me, but another part of me enjoys the familiar. I do love my mother. I sincerely do. Even enough to put up with her worship of a dead goddess. Come, Nasir. She sits on the ground to give her knees a break, then beckons me over with a wave of her paint-dipped hand. I sit before her, in front of the alcove with the carving of Atthar in the middle.